My name is Santiago Schnell. I'm the William K. Warren Foundation Dean of the College of Science, and I'm Professor of Biological Sciences and Applied and Computational Mathematics and Statistics at the University of Notre Dame. I'm as well a member of the American Academy of Science and Letters, and I serve on the board of the Academy. And it's my distinguished pleasure today of interviewing Professor Karin Öberg. She is the Thomas Donnelly Cabot Professor of Natural Sciences and Professor of Astronomy at Harvard University. She recently received the Barry Prize for Distinguished Academic Achievement from the American Academy of Science and Letters. Karin, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much
I have three questions for you. So let's see what you have for us today.
Wonderful.
The first thing that I'm interested in knowing is what are some unappreciated ways that the work you have done in your field contributes to human understanding and well-being. So an astrophysicist sometimes is not clear how it can help us to be better human beings, knowing about the stars and the planets and the universe.
Yeah, no, thank you for that question. And I guess the first thing that I would like to do is to remove the so that there's a distinction or a sharp distinction between understanding and well-being. I think we are the kind of creatures that really want to know things, that desire to know things deeply. And I think we can see this for just how little we like having lies told to us, but I think even more profoundly, just the kind of joy that humans get out of grasping something or understanding something for the first time. And I think in some sense, astronomy is in the business of deepening our understanding about our place in the cosmos. So when I think about us humans and wanting to understand our origins, I think we want to understand it as a country, as a civilization, as humanity, as a living thing, and as a dweller in the cosmos. So just in giving us this sort of broad and deep view of what the sort of the order, the material order around us is like, I think is something that really does contribute to human well-being as well as understanding. But I think we actually do one more thing, which is maybe underappreciated, even though I think it's commonly felt. And that is that astronomy also really provides sort of a deep contribution to the beautiful. Another thing that I think we just desire deeply as human beings. I think it's sort of the privilege of the scientists generally to get to help uncover sort of hidden order underneath what we can directly see. And that order is very often beautiful. But I think in astronomy, it's just that much more apparent when we see what the observations of the night sky look like. And I think that is actually a great gift that astronomy provides to humanity.
That's fantastic. So, your analogy remind me. So, when I have my children very small, so the fact that they would laugh the first time you switch the light bulb and they would see the effect. So it's that discovery that suddenly provides you joy of knowing that you move the switch and a light just turned on. So the same thing, your academic enterprise, your work illuminates and creates well-beings.
Absolutely. And I think even though maybe we see it the most obviously with little children, I have seen exactly the same reaction in many much more grown-up humans. And I think it's good to remember that we are of course we want our health, we want to be well fed and well clothed and all those things, but we also have these spiritual needs, and that of understanding what's going on around us is one of them.
Yes, and the beauty as well is connected to all these issues that you brought as well. So we need beauty to experience happiness and as well awe to some degree, because beauty is always unique.
We do. And I think one of the things that modernity in some sense has robbed us, and I'm not saying this as someone who's generally pessimistic about technological progress, it has robbed us of the night sky. And I think it is it is worth pondering how much of the beauty of the landscape or maybe skyscape that we have lost now when almost all of us live in this heavily light polluted area. And I feel in some sense that astronomy is giving some of that back by sharing widely the kind of images that we get from some of these really amazing telescopes that now exist.
Now that we have talked about through and beauty to some degree, I always think that the mission of the university is somewhere connected to through beauty and maybe solidarity. And I wonder, how would you describe that? What is the mission of the university? What it ought to be and why it's important?
Yeah, so I think maybe the first thing to say is that I think the university does have a unique mission and is sort of at our peril to lose sight of that. And I think at its deepest core, what the university is or should be is a community, and therefore a kind of civic friendship that is in the business of the pursuit of truth. And that is really important. I mean, whether we do it as teachers, so we teach our students how to gain understanding and gain the tools to continue the pursuit of truth independently, or it's our scholarship that reveals new understanding or new truths about the world around us. In some sense, that is what makes the university a common good. So that it's something that is not just benefiting us who are lucky enough to be inside of it, but the society as a whole. And I think when we lose sight of that, what we really risk doing is no longer being that kind of common good. Like when we privilege sort of our own comfort, for example, over the pursuit of truth, that is privileging us over the sort of common good or societal good that the university should be.
Yes, and to some degree, it's this light switch again, so that if it's not through, so you're not illuminating something, then it loses its meaning. So, and the magic of what we'll do in universities.
It does. There's this wonderful saying by Chesterton that the sort of problem of the day, and that was 100 years ago, I think it's still true, is not that there's like all these vices, but rather that there are virtues that are sort of misplaced or unmoored. And I think about that a little bit with the university, like how it can lose sort of its mission. It's not because anyone is trying to do anything bad. I think it's because there are sometimes these competing goods. And if we lose sight of that, the core good of the university is truth, and if these other goods come into conflict with those, truth must prevail. And I think that's when we start veering off course. But I do want to emphasize that also the community part, that I think there has to be this sense of a civic friendship sort of within the university for that sort of communal pursuit of truth to actually work out. So they are sort of the good and the true and the beautiful are deeply intertwined.
Yes, so the solidarity in the university, that friendship, so the fraternal contributions of working together. So, well, and I have another thing that I'm curious about. So now that you work in a university, you do research. So what are the things that have pleasantly surprised you on your work over the last 5 years? What are, if you want to share something on a dinner table to excite people about your work over the last 5 years, what would be those?
Yeah, I mean, I think I have been on this now 4 or 5 year journey of falling back in love with the academy or the university. So there's a lot of things that I have discovered about the university that I really, really love. A major thing is the students. Though I'm going to be more specific. So one of the things I started doing about 4 years ago is working with a group of students at Harvard to think about how we could make the university to increase the intellectual vitality at the university. And to see the students take the lead on this, putting themselves out there, was just this deeply humbling experience. I mean, a little bit of guilt also, maybe we as faculty should have taken the lead on this. But to have the students sort of be in the driver's seat and just be there to assist them was such a lovely experience. It just shows the quality both sort of intellectual and the moral quality of the students that end up at this kind of universities. So that was a fantastic experience. I say the other thing is just how many great colleagues that I have at Harvard. So I've had the pleasure of getting to know people really from across all the schools the past few years in working on different kind of committees and projects, thinking about excellence and open inquiry, and just finding that there is really that friendship, and that the friendship is there because we have the same sort of mission in sight, and that's what makes it such a joy to work at. So I say, just in general, discovering how much common ground there is across the university to sort of recenter what the university is for has been a joy. But I mean, I could not mention just how fun it has been to be an astronomer the past couple of years with the launch of our new amazing telescope, the James Webb Space Telescope. It feels like every day we're discovering something new. Now we have these like new sort of glasses to peer into the cosmos with. And one of the reasons that I think I know that it's part of sort of human flourishing to get to understand new things or see new things is just the joy that I feel and I see with my students when we get to discover new things, however small, about the kind of sort of cosmic story we are in. So I guess those are a couple of tastes of what's kept me very happy and cheerful the past few years.
That's fantastic. So, and I love the fact that you brought the students in. So we, the ones who are more senior in the universities, were stewards of the institution for the younger generation, and the fact that they are so heavily engaged and they want to continue keeping the university moving forward. So it's absolutely a joy. So to hear that.
Yeah, no, that has really been my experience the past few years, that there's this hunger among the students to just grapple with difficult things, to have intellectual challenges, and that's why they want to be here. And it's been very impressive to see that for some of them, when they have felt they haven't gotten all of that the way they should, that instead of complaining about it, they have actually gotten to work with pushing us as sort of faculty and administrators to do the right thing and to, in some sense, feed them better. Yeah, I love it. It's been a joy.
Oh, well, it's a joy as before. Well, so this is a unique challenge. So I always say that we have two kinds of children: the academics, our biological children, and then the ones that they inherit what we have left behind in the academic enterprise. And it's very important so that we just keep cultivating that.
Absolutely.
Well, Karen, has been a pleasure to have you here. So I enjoy very much this conversation.
Well, thank you so much. The pleasure has been all mine.
Well, thank you. And congratulations for receiving the Barry Prize for Distinguished Academic Achievement.
Well, that was the honor of a lifetime. So thank you very much.